The problem is nobody's reaping any benefits from the prison industrial complex, as you call it. If you calculate the cost of additional police, the court system, the prisons, it's a huge drain on the economy. And the fact that these people aren't holding down jobs, paying taxes, it's even worse than that. You know, just think for a moment about the total cost of this blight of drug crimes and gang crimes and all that in the urban areas. And of course, nobody wants any part of it.
Did you say that you teach young black men?
Yes, I do. I'm a high school special ed teacher.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that there's some people who would say that's part of the problem right there, because someone who is as woefully undereducated on this subject as you obviously are, for you to be in a position of influence over young black minds, particularly the minds that require the level of special attention that is part of the special education system, is a frightening thing. You are wrong on several levels. First of all, you are wrong in suggesting or in saying that nobody benefits from the prison industrial complex. I would like to recommend for you as required reading Professor Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness. I have had Professor Michelle Alexander as a guest on this program a few times, and I will do so again. She lays out, I think what is the most clearly and most. I think her articulation of the subject is the clearest. It is the most lucid that I've read in a very long time, in which she correctly points out that the prison industrial complex is actually a part of that economy that you are referring to. I have mentioned the fact that there are many places upstate here in New York. Are you calling from New York, from anywhere in New York State? Yes. There are many places, many communities in upstate New York where the only economic activity that exists is a prison. And so everyone in that community either works at the prison, with the prison, for the prison, under the prison, or either was working on the construction of the prison, works as a prison guard, supplies the prison, does laundry for the prison, supplies the prison with food, does something for the prison. And it is actually a form of economic activity which is the only thing that stands between the existence and non-existence of some of these communities upstate, which was one of the reasons that there was a big brouhaha about counting these prisoners as residents of these upstate locations, so that not only were they being warehoused in these institutions, and their presence there became the fount of economic well-being for the people in that community, but their presence there was also being counted as a way of justifying the political representation that the people in those communities were now able to have at the state level, so that they could appropriate even more money for the same purpose, causing a very vicious cycle. Now, when you say that people don't benefit from the prison industrial complex, you clearly have not been following the discussion about the privatization of prisons in this country. The largest private prison corporation, I think it's called the Correctional Corporation of America. This is a multi-billion-dollar operation that not only lobbies the Congress directly, but whose leadership is on the record as opposing any attempt to reform the draconian drug laws, which are the major source from which they are able to get the fodder that keeps their business in business. So, and when it comes to these young black men, as you say, who are shooting each other with illegal guns, these young black men these guns, the guns and the drugs are being brought into their communities, and there's a story behind that as well. And the truth of the matter is that if you keep people in certain conditions of oppression, and you make sure that and they have access to the means of self-destruction in the way that we have done in this society, that what else can you expect when you keep people in positions of desperation? I don't know if you've ever been in a desperate situation where you thought that your survival depended on your ability to vanquish every perceived threat in your community or in your neighborhood. But if you were in that position, I rather suspect that you might take a somewhat different view of this matter. This is a very complex issue, and it is not an open and shut case. It is not a simplistic case that can be looked at as these young black men are shooting each other and nobody benefits from the prison industrial complex. That could not be further from the truth. The disproportionate rate at which the disproportionate enforcement of these draconian drug laws in communities of color is itself, as Linda pointed out, responsible for a disparate impact on communities of color, which is why even though whites and blacks use drugs at the same level, yet blacks are disproportionately represented among those people who are imprisoned for recreational drug use or for possession of drugs, because you will find the drugs where you choose to do the enforcement, as anybody will tell you.